Ranganathan. Dr. Ranganathan, the farmers thought that they were going to get the government to bend. Here the government is crawling. I don't know why. There is a lot of speculation. It's because of the elections. The government's managers will come out and say, no, this is because of national security. You know, we're doing this in national interest. Where do you stand on this, Dr. Anand Ranganathan?
No, good evening, Rahul. Look, the day PM decided to repeal the farm laws, that very day he sent a message to the world.
The message was victory of anarchy over democracy, ludism over logic, control over choice. As simple as that. Block roads, strike work, loot, kill, lay siege, and Modi will succumb. He will listen to you only then. And since that day, the government, asked to bend, as you say, has been crawling. They have decided not to prosecute the farmers who burn stubble in complete violation of their own and Supreme Court orders. So now we will have an area 12 times the size of Delhi burning right next to Delhi every winter for 20 days continuously, and no one will go to jail for it. Coming back to the repeal of farm laws, who benefited, Rahul? The nation whose 92% of 200 million farmers wanted these reforms, whose 94% farmers don't avail of the MSP, whose 60% agricultural produce doesn't go through APMC. And what next? Repealing 370, CAA, why not? Sweet Pinto has defeated reforms. And this hurts, by God, I tell you, Rahul, this hurts, because if there was one sector where we needed urgent reforms, it was agriculture. That contributes only 13% to our GDP, and yet 82% of all Indian households are dependent on it. 44% of our 485 million strong labor force is involved in it. In the West, it is 2%. Where is the flexibility in our economy going forward? Looted by middlemen, blackmailed by governments, defeated by elements. 3 lakh farmers have committed suicide in the last 17 years. Production to purchase, the entire chain is archaic, almost medieval. Let me briefly give you one example of sugarcane. Sugarcane takes up only 9.4% of the total cultivated area, but 71.4% of its irrigation water. India produces 350 billion kilograms of sugarcane. Total water use, 1 quadrillion liters, equivalent of 10 Ganga Sagar dams. And sugar prices, they have halved since 2016. And here are the reforms that promise to change all this. Tell me, Rahul, which farmer in his right mind would object to deciding the price of his produce, given that faulty government MSP evaluation has cost him a loss of 45 lakh crores in the last 15 years? Which farmer would object to top quality godowns set up to store his produce all year round, and the government can no longer jail godown owners on account of whimsical ETA declarations of voting last 10 seconds? Which farmer would object to private companies rushing in to sign a contract with him? But these are questions for the logical-minded, Rahul, not for those whose aim is to give a man a fish, not to teach him how to fish. But that is what our opposition wanted, isn't it? To barter India's future away for the sake of a few middlemen. And Modi succumbed.
Well, let me tell you, you said, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, that the farmers won't be going to jail for burning stubble. I'll tell you who will be going to jail. All those who burst a few crackers on Diwali, they'll go to jail. You see, this is how lopsided it is, viewers. You'll have farmers who for a month have burnt stubble, made it impossible for your children or you to go out for your morning walk, or your children to play in the park some football and cricket. Why? Because they're a lobby. They're a powerful, united lobby that can shake governments. And we're only talking about farmers really, in a sense, from 2.5 states, viewers. Delhi is not even a full state. So 2.5 states, a bunch of farmers selfishly land up with no cause or concern for all of you at the height of the lockdown. And they get what they want. I can't blame them, really, can't. As much as one despises the fact that street activism, no, actually not even street activism, viewers, but a degree of mobocracy has succeeded. I can't grudge them because they're within their rights. in a free country to come, not occupy public land, but demand. They're within their rights to demand. If the government decides that, well, they suddenly think that their demands are legitimate, what can you do? Sanju Varma.
You that I'm very thrifty with compliments. You only have to ask my wife, man. But I want to compliment you because from the day the farm laws were repealed, you have steadfastly stood with India and against this government with logic, with rationale. You have blasted this government. And out here, it's a good day for you. You know, you were complaining earlier that you've been trolled. Quite right. But today, if you look around this digital panel, Mr. Pai is with you. I'm with you. Mr. Mohan, Dr. Raman is with you. And Mr. Jha is with you. We all supported resolutely the farm laws. The only two people who are against you and possibly trolling you are the Congress and BJP spokesperson. And to whom I would like to ask one simple question. What is now, Rahul, can I not be interrupted?
Okay, Sanju Varma, let him finish.
Rahul, please.
You can come in, let him finish, please.
Yes.
You can let him finish. Please, let him finish.
Glorified bank clerk be muted. Now, 1 second.
Let him finish.
Rahul.
Ms. Varma, let him finish. You can respond right after. I want to open this up.
Yes, Rahul.
Okay, 1 minute. There's a very important debate after the break also, viewers. We have time for doing that also. So very quickly, Sanju Varma, please.
No, this is the problem, Rahul. The job of a BJP spokesperson is to listen to questions that the citizens ask the party. I am not asking the BJP spokesperson. I am asking the BJP party. So please be humble. Rahul, can I please, without interruption, ask an important question?
Ms. Varma, please let him finish.
Duty bound.
Okay, let him finish. Let him finish, please. Ms. Varma, please let him finish. Lower of it. Lower of it. Yes. Please, I'll have to lower your fader. Please, that's not fair. Let him finish his question. You can answer it. Please,
Yes,
ma'am.
The question, they must understand the question is to the party, the government, not to the BJP spokesperson. I don't know why she minds it so much. The question is, what was the national security or Khalistani issue for the government to pardon and remove the law that prosecuted the farmer that burned 35 million tons of Parali?
Yes. Well, I'll tell you.
Security issue.
Viewers, I just hope. Let's open this up. Okay. 1 minute. Let me come in here.
The farmers from burning 17,000 square kilometers of land.
Yes. Let me come in. Let me come in. Viewers, look.
Rahul.
Okay. 1 minute. Dr. Raman, 1 minute. Dr. Raman, I want to ask you. Why hasn't anyone come out and supported Mr. Rizvi from amongst the the Latvian set? Can you explain? I can't hear you. Dr. Ranganathan, we can't hear you. You're on mute. Can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yes, Rahul, thank you. No, what are they going to do? Are they going to deny the holy verses? I hate to say this, Rahul, but the fact is that Jitendra Tyagi, a.k.a. Wasim Rizvi, is a marked man, accused not only of blasphemy, but also of apostasy. He is the candle that has been lit at both ends, unfortunately. And this is an argument he cannot win because he is man, not God, and God or Allah has specifically ordered that, quote, those who abuse Allah and His Messenger, Allah has cursed them in this world and the hereafter and prepared for them a humiliating punishment, 3357. And that the penalty for those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger is that they be killed or crucified, 533. For 1.8 billion Muslims, Allah's word is inviolable. And He Himself has said so, 3362, 6115, 1827, 634. We need to understand, anyone who is perceived to have abused Allah or His Messenger will, sooner or later, meet the fate of Kamlesh Tiwari or Samuel Paty or those Charlie Hebdo journalists. It may take a week, a month, a year, a decade, but it will happen. His other crime, Tyagi's other crime, is apostasy, that is, leaving Islam. And here too, poor fellow is condemned. Quote, whoever disbelieves in Allah after his belief, upon him is my wrath and a great punishment, 1616, and eternal fire, 2217. Moreover, quote, the Prophet said, if a Muslim discards Islam, kill him, unquote. Al-Bukhari 984. There is no way out. The other thing we need to understand, Rahul, just 1 minute, is this. that it is the so-called moderate Muslims perennially playing the victim card who are Islamophobic. That is, they fear Islam. They fear to bring out the commandments of their holy book in their entirety that I have, because they fear being called illiberal and hypocrite. They snare the fundamentalists but spare the fundamentals. That is why they are going to be quiet. And every single time the apologists cringe at violence or retribution being ordered, they bring out the excuse of context or interpretation so as to hide the true meaning. This despite them knowing very well that most such decrees are open-ended and for all time. Now, just a minute. Just who is a believer or a non-believer has been explicitly defined in the Holy Book. 33, 36, 3, 132, 8, 2, 49, 15. The disbelievers of that time, polytheists, Christians, Jews, apostates, were seen to possess certain characteristics. And it is these characteristics that are condemned and ordered to be punished in the Holy Book. The orders are not for the non-believers of that time. They are for anyone who possesses these characteristics for all time. All Muslim schools accept this. 1.8 billion Muslims accept this. So they are wrong. And this handful of deceiving moderates are right. Those who abuse Allah and His Messenger, Allah has cursed them and prepared for them a humiliating punishment, is context devoid. Those who disbelieve in our verses, we will drive them into a fire. 456 is context devoid. Whoever disbelieves in Allah after His deed, upon them is my wrath.
Okay.
Is context devoid. Around 10 seconds. So I sympathize with Dadi Aisha, but the writing is on the wall. Both moderates and extremists want him dead.
Abdul Razak Khan, are you in agreement with...
Thank you so much. Just one question to you. Are you going to contradict 16:16 and the verse 2:17? I repeat, whoever disbelieves in Allah after his belief, upon him is my wrath and a great punishment and eternal fire. Moreover, do you contradict Al-Bukhari 984? The Prophet said, if a Muslim discards Islam, kill him.
You cannot bring in just one statement and try to clarify things.
Okay.
984 Al-Bukhari.
Okay. Viewers, look. Viewers, the point is, in Pakistan recently, one second, in Pakistan recently, blasphemy was held up to lynch a person. Even one of the ministers of the government supported what happened. Supported it. Because here, some character will go and kill Mr. Rizvi for what Mr. Rashid Khan and Firoz Khan seem to be saying. 50 lakhs. Wherever, whoever spots Wasim Rizvi, go kill him, get his severed head, I'll give you 50 lakhs. For what? This bounty was issued today, viewers, 24 hours back rather. Not 6 months earlier, not a year back, not 2 years back. The trigger was a conversion. Sanju.